We are continuing back to school season and looking ahead to some great community events in this Red Couch Rewind. Welcome on in. I'm your host, Melissa Bruner. This is where we recap some of those top interviews you've seen on Eye on Northeast Kansas, the TV show. It comes to you live Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock Central Time, streaming live from our WIBW studios in Topeka, Kansas. We start this week with another school superintendent, a brand new one. So the first day of school isn't just for kids. It can apply to some of the adults as well. Dr. Katie Collier is the new leader of USD 437, the Auburn-Washburn District, the south part of Topeka and Shawnee County. She told us what she's most excited for in her new role. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
So how were those first days? You guys went back last week.
We did.
Did you have those whole first day of school jitters?
You know, I've been in public education for over 3 decades. And I, like many educators, usually don't sleep very well the night before.
You have the same anxiety.
But it was really a smooth start, I think, for our students and our families. So we're ready to have that first full week under our belt this week. But it's been great.
Where did you come from to come to Topeka?
So I most recently was living in the Overland Park area and left that school district here. Before that, I worked in the state of Missouri for well over 20 years. So I have over 3 decades of experience in public education as teacher and administrator at various levels.
What did you think stood out about USD 437?
You know, I had the opportunity to visit with all of our staff just last week, and I told them that there were so many characteristics that drew me here. There is a strong sense of family here. Topeka is a lovely place to raise families, and I've come to learn that. It is a school district that has high expectations for students, and there's this amazing circle of support around our schools, and that just benefits our students that, you know, we're all working to benefit. So really the community and the high expectations and this really strong tradition of excellence drew me here.
Now you have a lot of new that's been going on in the district as well. So what are some of the new things that students came back to this year?
Well, we were excited to welcome back our early childhood students as well. And so we've opened up additional early childhood classrooms throughout the school district. That's been a high priority for the community. And then we are just finishing up a $145 million bond that the community supported back in April of 22. So we're just finishing our last 3 schools with that particular project.
So we've already seen that's where the new middle school came into being, the Innovation Center, and all those improvements at the high school. Which 3 elementary schools had improvements happen?
So the last 3 elementary schools are Auburn Elementary, Pauline South Elementary, and then Wanamaker Elementary.
Now Wanamaker had a few delays.
It did. It was quite a large project, and I was pleased that we only had to adjust it by 2 days.
Yeah,
and
they went back today then?
They went back last week.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I did not receive any note from any student that was concerned that they were going to have 2 extra days of summer.
Yeah, the parents are probably like, the students are like, okay. When you think back on what that bond issue did, so you mentioned the early childhood spaces. As a superintendent, as an educator, why is that early childhood piece so important?
You know, that's just critical. The more we can have students in classrooms with teachers and educators, that just creates more long-term success for students academically. And our parents and our community continue to be interested in our shared goal of expanding those opportunities. It just increases school readiness when they hit that age of kindergarten.
So I made a big deal about the first day of school, but you actually had been on the job since, was it July 1?
Yes, July 1.
Okay. What was your approach to that 6 weeks leading up to the school year and what you were doing?
You know, this school district has had an amazing tradition of really steady leadership. And so most recently, Dr. Scott McWilliams, he and I were able to work closely and plan for that transition. So it's felt as smooth as possible for our staff and families. It gave me the opportunity to be in schools in the spring before everyone left for the summer. So I had an opportunity to become familiar with all of our schools. It's given me the opportunity to meet families and really just begin to plan for this school year. And then what's ahead for us as a
That was
district.
going to be my next question. What is next for the district?
The district has always been very thoughtful in planning for its future. So prior to my arrival, they had just completed a strategic plan feedback process from staff members and community members. So now we'll take all of that feedback and curate it into long-term goals, action steps, and we'll get some feedback as we kind of wrap that process up this year. But the Board of Education will be asked to approve a strategic plan, and we'll be able to communicate that strategic plan second semester so that our community has an understanding of really our big goals for the next 3 to 5 years.
You think that'll be another bond issue, or now that you did all of this, you think you're good for a while?
You know, I really compliment our Board of Education for completing this bond and for community supporting it, and I don't see another bond issue in our very near future.
Everybody came back this year to the new laws with cell phones and social media. How has that adjustment been going? I know you're only a few days in, but what are you hearing so far?
You know, so far I would say the students have really transitioned pretty smoothly with that. Our teachers have done a great job of communicating with students. As a district, we've communicated with parents, and so we're thankful to our parents who had those conversations at home, helping our students understand the expectations. So I would say that too has been a smooth start, an adjustment no doubt for our students, but a benefit to the learning environment.
Well, Dr. Collier, we look forward to continuing to get to know you and visiting with you as you begin as the USD 437 superintendent, the leader of the Auburn-Washburn School District. Thank you so much for making the time to visit today.
Thanks for having me. My pleasure.
And with that, most of our Northeast Kansas schools are back in session, looking forward to a great school year. Sometimes those educational lessons can look at some tough topics, and that is what LifeHouse Child Advocacy Center wants you to know with its Brave Talk program. It has to do with helping protect kids from sexual predators by giving them some information on their level that they can understand. Lynette Cimino and Annalise Johnson told us about that program. For those who aren't familiar, what is LifeHouse and what is the work that you do?
So LifeHouse is a child advocacy center. We are a nonprofit that serves child victims of crime, primarily child sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, other types of violent crimes, and we help bring together professionals so kids only have to be heard by one person one time.
And when you're a forensic interviewer, what kinds of questions are you asking the kids?
A lot of tell me all about that. A lot of open prompts to promote that free narrative so that nobody can come back and say that they were led or suggested to respond.
And do you find that kids don't necessarily understand the language, or they just don't know that something wrong has happened initially?
A lot of both, especially when they're younger. They don't have that frame of reference or exposure of understanding what that just happened, and to be able to have the words to say, hey, this happened to me, but then also the emotional responsibility and blame and
a lot of things.
Processing. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on.
So then, Annalise, how does the Brave Talk program kind of play into if something should happen, kids know what to say, but also then preventing it in the first place? What does the Brave Talk program do?
So our Brave Talk program, it is in majority of all of the Shawnee County elementary schools, and it starts from preschool all the way up to 6th grade, or kind of dependent on the highest level education or highest level grade in each of the elementary schools. And it starts by kind of teaching some of the concrete concepts of like body autonomy and body safety, as well as recognizing when a situation kind of starts to become unsafe. And then even it'll go into their trusted adults and sort of what makes somebody one of their trusted adults and how to go about reaching out to them. And then we even include some technology safety too.
I was going to say, there's a component here about the internet. How much is that just kind of blowing up in terms of how easy it is for kids to fall into traps there?
Yeah, it is. Like the kids that come in, we see that there can be a lot of like the internet kind of crimes that are occurring with them as well. Kind of Lynette will have some more information with that too.
Yeah, what are you seeing?
So technology facilitated abuse is unfortunately growing rapidly, and it's not always easily identified, especially with caregivers. I mean, we have a generation that are raised with technology, and so we have to not only be able to support children in identifying unsafe situations, but we have an adult Brave Talk program as well for adults, so that they can help navigating the digital world alongside their children and helping them navigate that safe using critical thinking. What are the green flags? What are the red flags? And then emulating that as well as like personal safety too.
Can anyone schedule these, and how long do they take? I mean, is this a huge commitment for example, a school or a club?
It can be, just kind of depending. We are actually in the works this week reaching out to the elementary school counselors. We've kind of already established sort of that, and so they are able to schedule whatever works best for theirs. We are asking now for about the 45 minutes. Typically, sometimes we've been a little bit more flexible with 30 minutes, but we have found that it is a little bit more difficult to fully incorporate every single thing, as well as encourage student engagement and making sure if they have questions about what we are talking about, they have the time to do so.
But just one 45-minute session?
Yes, so it will be, we typically see them by grades in each individual classroom. And so we can spend an entire day out there and hitting each class back to back to back, and then we can kind of spread it out an entire week depending on, typically they use their counselor time, and then we come back every single year.
Well, I know there was some debate over whether this should be required by all schools, so if folks want to reach out to you, voluntarily initiate this in their school district, maybe a group that you have, an organization that works with kids, there's the information, 785-232-5433, or you can email that email address you saw there. I will put it on WIBW.com as well. Lynette, Annalise, thank you both so very much. Very important information.
Thank you.
You can reach out to LifeHouse Child Advocacy Center, or perhaps there's a program near you to see what these talks are all about. Helping folks make a smoother re-entry into society is the goal of the ROC Conference. Mirror Inc. puts this on. It's designed for those who might work with people who are coming out of incarceration so that they can be more successful in their communities. Melissa Goodman-Childs from Mirror Inc. joined us along with Noelle O'Neill. She is with the Federal Public Defender's Office to tell us the goal of this event. Now, the ROC means what? I mean, I know it stands for that acronym, but it's a whole initiative, you said.
It is. It's about bringing people together, offering resources, and starting those conversations about how can we better prepare and equip people as they're releasing from prison.
Why did Mirror start this, and what is the overall goal of your organization?
Yeah, so this is actually an initiative from the Shawnee County Reentry Council. So the planning committee for the ROC is comprised of 10 different organizations that all lend their time and resources to making this a success. And so there are so many moving parts. And with that, I want to give a huge shout out to Noelle because last year I made this comment and I said, you know, if the ROC was an airline, then Noelle would be our pilot because she keeps us where we need to go. She keeps us organized, and she is just the driving force behind this.
So is this where the theme came from then for this year?
Actually, funny you ask. Actually, our partners at WSU in Wichita are letting us use their space at the National Center for Aviation Training. And so to go along with the space and Melissa's comments from last year, we decided to come up with the theme Where Change Takes Flight. Where
Change Takes Flight. I imagine in the Federal Public Defender's Office, do you often see some of the same people coming through your doors?
Sometimes. So our office has a really good relationship with the U.S. Probation Office, who supervises our clients who come back out into the community. So through that partnership, our hope is that individuals don't return back to prison.
So how does this conference help to achieve that goal? What are some of the different workshops and things that you are going to be helping people learn some skills with?
Yeah, so we have over 20 breakout sessions this year. We are featuring some that we had last year, such as women in reentry, mental health in reentry. The idea is that we are providing information to individuals who can better help support people who are coming home.
What is it about targeting this, in this instance, the organizations or the agencies that might be working, that helps?
Yeah, so to have systemic change, we want everyone to be a part of the conversation. So we'll have anywhere from the administration of prisons, and then also people who are working directly as case managers, counselors out in the community with resources and social services, community corrections, like really everyone we want to bring to the table on how to develop these solutions.
How much do the clients inform the sorts of sessions that you have? The people that you guys are working with or seeing in your offices day in and day out, how does that inform the sessions? And I imagine part of that is you see where the gaps are every day.
I would say throughout the planning, we have an individual on our committee with lived experience. So it's important for us to put on a conference about a population with somebody who has experienced this before. Also, a lot of our breakout sessions, our keynote speakers, they have lived experience. We'll also have a panel at the end of the day on our second day where we get to hear directly from people who have re-entered and about their challenges and their successes.
Who should attend a conference like this?
Everyone. So it's interesting. We had a few mothers reach out who have children who are incarcerated, and they asked, is this something that someone like us that we should attend? And it really touched our hearts because we thought this is exactly who we would love to attend to better prepare your loved ones for successful reentry.
Isn't that true that the family is part of the gap or part of the support system as well, because they kind of need to know how to direct your resources and how to interact with someone. It doesn't have to be scary.
It doesn't, and it's hard, and the people we're working with, they're not serving life sentences, and so there's that constant reminder of these individuals are going to be your neighbors. They're going to be, their children are going to school with your children, and so if we set them up for success, we all succeed.
Absolutely. Well, this is where you can register for the conference and get some more information about it. The ROC, the Reentry Opportunity Conference of Kansas, cleared for takeoff where change takes flight. Love that theme. September 29th and 30th. They need the registrations now, though, so please head on over to reentryreframed.org if you would like to register. It's a $100 fee. This takes place at the National Center for Aviation Training at Wichita State Tech in Wichita.
And Melissa, we would like to invite you and give you your own boarding pass as our guest of honor.
I love it. In Wichita, the end of September, folks. So you do such great work day in and day out, and this supports the people who are working alongside you in all of those partner organizations that deserve thanks as well. Appreciate you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The ROC Reentry Conference taking place in Wichita this year. The registration information's available now, and as you heard, it is suitable for a wide range of people. We're going to be taking a look at some great events that help you learn about money, that are addressing food insecurity in our area, and can take you out to the zoo. Stay tuned. There's more Red Couch Rewind coming your way. Welcome back into the Red Couch Rewind. You know, you become an adult and you're supposed to know all there is to know about money. Like, you have to pay your bills, there are taxes, and what do you mean insurance is something I have to take care of as well? Forge Young Professionals, that is the Young Professionals branch of the Greater Topeka Partnership, wants to help young professionals learn all of those lessons. Forge Director Caleb Soliday told us about the program they have in store for you. And this is a big deal.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, what, you graduate from college and suddenly you're expected to know how to pay rent, make payments. Oh, there's a utility bill. And what is insurance again?
Exactly. There's so much noise out there.
I still don't know that now, and I'm over a certain age.
Well, you're always young for us. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that young professionals are facing right now. What we've seen in studies is over a third of Gen Z, so my generation, feels like they are stressed about finances. Mm-hmm. However, there is good light that when they start to hear from other folks, from experts in person, that they're more willing to make a change in their finances, and then they feel less stressed later on. So with that in mind, we decided that we were going to launch an initiative that we call Finance After 5 and have an event that is a free event for young professionals to attend and learn more about finances and how to help them out in their financial future.
So what kind of panel are you going to have involved in this, and what different topics are they going to cover?
Oh, we brought all the heavy hitters of Topeka. So we have Terry over at Invista. We'll be talking more about home buying and loans and things at a financial institution you would probably want to know about as a young professional. We have Fatima, who owns her own consulting agency that does basic budgeting coaching, that she'll be coming in. We have Riley Ringgold over at Keller Williams that will talk about the home buying process as a realtor and how, as a customer, how you can better find homes, what financing options are available, and kind of tips of the trade there. Then we also have Jones Advisory Group. We have someone coming in from Jones Advisory Group. They'll be talking more about how to invest. If you do have extra income, where to invest, how to do it, and then that it's for everyone and not just the extremely wealthy that can invest, but even if you're in your early career.
So this is free.
Yes,
And there are
absolutely.
appetizers involved.
Yes, appetizers, drinks, and then for those who pre-register, they'll also get a free Forge journal that they can
Awesome,
use.
awesome.
Yep.
So many good things. And while we're on the topic of Forge and getting young professionals involved, just want to touch real quick here on voting, because you had a good get out the vote effort for the primaries. We were all saying we thought we could breathe after the primaries. Oh no, general election is not too far away. What do you want young folks to know?
I want young folks to, one, that they have a voice and that they can vote, and then two, to go out and vote. That's the biggest thing, especially for this year and years to come. We know that if folks are more civically engaged in their community, they're more likely to stay in that community. So we're wanting folks to get out to vote, to learn more about the county process. We have county commissioners are up to vote here at the local level.
There's one district that is up. Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the amendment at the state, and then Secretary of State, and then also Governor.
It's a citizenship voting amendment, I believe, on the ballot this time
yeah.
around, and then all of the statewide elected offices.
Yes.
And so can Forge get people in touch with some information
Yes,
on
if
candidates
they,
and things too?
if they follow our social media or join Forge, we'll have updates throughout the election process that will have a very clear guideline, and we are a non-political organization, and we stay as much to the middle as we can on information about voting.
Educating yourself and getting involved is the key. If you'd like to go to Finance After 5, that event is coming up on Thursday, August 27th at Celtic Fox downtown, 5:30 to 7:30. Events.topekapartnership.com is where you can go to register. It is free, but they would like you to register in advance if you so choose. Appreciate you, Kayla.
I'll see you there as a young professional.
Thank you for complimenting me and saying I'm young. That's just one of many great programs Forge puts on throughout the year. You can check the schedule, and it not only gives you great information, it helps you make connections and get involved with other folks in the community. We've talked a lot about food insecurity issues. More and more families have been needing assistance to put food on the table. Scent Topeka is teaming up with a Topeka business in order to make that happen and keep the shelves filled in their Southside filling station. Amy Kopp-Hasty with Scent visited us along with Kelsey Rott. She is with Luthi and Associates, that's an insurance company in Topeka, to talk about their first Friday food drives. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Specifically, we're talking about the Southside Filling Station, which is a project of Scent. Amy, what can you tell us about how much the demand has been at Southside Filling Station?
Yes, we serve about 600 families a month. We have a pantry that's open 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Thursdays. And the important thing to know about our pantry is that it is low barrier, client choice, and nutritious rich.
Like they come in and it's kind of like they're shopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so basically what that means is no documentation is required. If you're hungry, you're hungry, and we want to help feed you. That's our philosophy. And you get a shopping cart, you get a personal shopper, and we have all kinds of great meat, and we have the milk in the glass bottles. Remember that, how delicious that milk is? We have that at our pantry.
Have you been seeing, and you know, these are the sorts of things that people can come in and get. Non-perishables are what you like to put on the shelves. Are you seeing more people come in, and how much trouble are you having keeping things like this in stock?
Well, this is such a big help, and thank you to Luthi for doing this for us, because the holidays are on us. And so we are anticipating that there's going to be a greater need. We've been consistently seeing 600 families a month, but we anticipate that with the holidays coming, there's going to be a greater need. Yeah. So anything that people can come in and get through our pantry that helps supplement their budget for the regular grocery store. So it's incredibly important.
And you mentioned what Luthi and Associates is doing. Kelsey, what are you doing?
I reached out to Amy and asked her if they had a food pantry over at Scent, and she said yes. And I know that with the SNAP benefits really being affected right now with everything that's going on, I wanted to try to take initiative and put my foot in the best place I could and donate to kids, families, those who can't afford to go to the grocery store. And by being able to reach out to you and do that for the community has been really filling for myself even.
How does this work? What are you asking people to do to join you in the
So
partnership?
what we are doing is we host food vendors every first Friday in Noto, and we have it set up where you can bring food in to us or you can donate cash. We're going to look at a Venmo possibly even, and then if you bring food, you can always enter for a drawing for a gift card to somewhere in Noto, or if you just want to bring food by the office, you can as well. So.
And so the gift cards, are they for anything in particular that people would
The
be
one
entered
that
for,
we've
or-
got right now is for Matryoshka's tattoo.
Oh.
We've done wheelbarrow gift cards. I know that Round Table Bookstore is also one we're looking at, but we're trying to support local, but also make sure that our local families are taken care of.
And so this is going to happen every first Friday through November.
Through November,
So
yep.
the next one's coming up, is that September
September.
4th? Is that the first
I think so.
Friday in
Yeah.
September? Get our mental calendars going here. And all they have to do is bring a non-perishable good to your location
Yep,
in Noto,
and
which
we
is
are next to the art building in Noto, so we're just down the street from the wheelbarrow.
So that's the 800 block of North Kansas.
Yep.
And then if that happens, they're helping themselves because they're entered into the drawing for the prize, but they're also more so helping the community. And how much does Scent rely on community support to make things like this work?
We rely on community support for everything that we do. We're a grassroots organization, and we need people to give of their time. We want people to give of their experience. We want people to give financially if they're able to. We're just one of those organizations that we can use as much help in any way that anyone can give us, and we're very appreciative to all of the people that do help, have helped, and continue to help.
Well, and that it is so important right now, as we've mentioned. We know we've been talking about Topeka Rescue Mission has seen more families coming in the door. We hear from groups like Doorstep that they're like paying out of pocket to get food, because all these places serve people. People tend to kind of be geographic, right? And so wherever they are, that's where they're going to go for food. And so in Southeast Topeka, the Highcrest neighborhood, it's the Southside Filling Station where folks have been going for that assistance. So if you are able to, on first Fridays, head to Noto, the 800 North Kansas Avenue. Luthi and Associates will be there to take your donations, which will go to the Southside Filling Station. 5 to 9 is typically the hours, but I'm sure they can take donations anytime. Anytime they're there, they will take your donations. Same thing with Scent Topeka, and same thing with so many great community partners that we have around the area, because we know the need is great. We've been saying that the need is great, and so this is one easy way for everyone to help out. Amy, Kelsey, thank you both. Appreciate
Thank you so much.
They are going to be set up taking those collections on first Fridays, September, October, and November, right next to the Noto Community Arts Center. So right in that alleyway there, that kind of lot, you'll find them taking your donations to help keep the shelves filled at the Southside Filling Station. Another great organization helping the southeast portion of the Topeka community. The Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library is a great place to read and a great place to welcome the authors that you may enjoy reading. They have a great one coming up. This is Lucy Foley. She is visiting later on in September, but registration is already just opening, and they want you to get your registration in fast. Katie Moss with the library told us about the visit. Welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So you guys are excited about this author.
We are very excited about this author.
Who is it?
Her name is Lucy Foley.
Lucy Foley.
Lucy Foley.
Okay.
She's from the UK. She's coming all the way to the U.S. to visit us in Topeka, Kansas at the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library.
And the timing is pretty cool.
It's
Because she's
very
going to
cool.
just release her next novel on September 22nd,
Yes.
and this visit is on the 24th.
Yes.
What is this novel, and what makes it so cool? There
Well,
it is.
There's
You
lots
got a
of
little
things.
advanced copy.
Yes, this is an arc. So this is an uncorrected arc. So it's got like the author's like little typos and things. It's kind of fun to read that, right? Because it's a little bit
Yes.
different. Yeah.
But it's called Murder at the Grand Alpine Hotel.
Yes, and it is the first fully authorized Agatha Christie Miss Marple novel in 50 years. So Foley and the Agatha Christie estate worked together to bring this title, and we're all very excited. We're very excited.
Because how classic of a character was Miss Marple?
Oh, like she's it, right? Like she's the first one who, I mean, everybody knows Miss Marple. If you're a mystery reader, you love Miss Marple.
Well, and in fact, James Patterson has a new series. Is it like Holmes Marple and something else?
Oh, gosh.
And Poe. Anyhow, where
Yeah.
they are these characters, and they're all like related. They are relatives of these classic mystery novel
Okay.
people, and one of them is an offshoot of Miss Marple. So it's coming back into popular culture,
Yes.
even if you weren't a Sherlock Holmes necessarily aficionado
Absolutely.
or Agatha Christie, you might know the new James Patterson.
Absolutely.
portion.
Yeah, it's totally relatable. I think, anybody who loves reading mysteries, who wants to solve those puzzles as they're reading, trying to put the pieces together and figure out before you get to the end, That's what this book is about. That's what Lucy Foley is about. Her other books are very much in that same vein. They're a lot of fun to read. They're not too dark, but they're just like, you're flipping those pages as fast as you can because you want to know, like, did I figure this out? But then there's that red herring. You're like, oh man, I was wrong about that one. So they're just super fun to read.
In her other novels, are they the same central characters in some of them? Like, are they a series, or does she do all standalone, all different?
She has not written any series yet. So all of her books are standalones
So
up to this point. But maybe I'm keeping my fingers crossed that there will be more Miss Marple.
Registration opens on the 24th of August, so in a few days. And why should you register early?
We anticipate that this event will be very popular and that it will fill up very fast. So if you want to come, I recommend that you set an alarm or a reminder on your phone or your calendar. So first thing, 9 a.m. Monday morning, Monday, August
24th.
Yes. Go online to tscpl.org/events, and you will find
the little link to register.
Yes.
Plus, the first 200 get the book, right?
Yes.
That's also why you should register
That's
early.
such a big deal. Well, so you don't have to be one of the first 200 registers. You just have to be one of the first 200 registered attendees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
there you go.
but the event is capped. So if you might get waitlisted, but we will have overflow seating, and at the time of the event, if there's
overflow, then you let them in. But register, and then the first 200 who show up that night get the book.
Yes.
All right, that's where we go. Thank you so very much, Katie. So fun to be welcoming Lucy Foley to town. Just keep checking that events calendar at tscpl.org. So many great things coming to the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. The zoo is also a fun place to be, and they have a bunch of fall and winter camps coming up. The registration opens September 1st, and Hunter Mangle visited Ion Northeast Kansas to tell us what you all can do at the zoo. You brought a friend with you.
I did.
So let's start with that. Who is this?
This is Sophie. She is one of our lesser Madagascar hedgehog tenrecs.
Oh, don't call her lesser. She's wonderful.
She is fabulous. Yes, she is quite a feat of age. So they generally live about 10 years, but she is 19.
You're bothering her by talking right now, because like all of a sudden she's like moving her mouth, or she's hungry. She's 19, and you said she also is a cancer survivor.
She is. She semi-recently just went through a pretty major surgery to remove a tumor in her neck. So she is doing wonderfully now. As you can see, she has all of her spunk back, and she loves her food, and she loves sleeping.
I'm going to tell you, this is the diva who's playing to the camera, because she was so calm when you were just before we came on, and now she's like, oh, you guys started talking. So, and I can feel her. Yep. Okay, so where is she from, did you say?
So they're native to Madagascar.
Madagascar. And when you feel them, they're not soft. Like, it's like it's kind of rough and bristly, almost like a bristle brush.
Yeah, they have those spines. So we only call them quills if they're in a porcupine. So the spines are things we find on the tenrecs and a hedgehog, if you think about like Sonic.
So fun fact then is that only porcupines have quills.
They do.
Interesting. I did not know that.
They do.
So camps are how kids can learn about Sophie and other animals like this,
Absolutely.
correct? So what happens during your fall and winter camps?
Well, our fall and winter camps, they take the most out of the hopefully colder weather we'll have there, but we have behind the scenes throughout the day. We have crafts, games, activities. We have live animal presentations, so you might get to see some of our animals like Sophie here. And each day has its own fun theme. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when do those camps typically take place?
Well, this year they are starting in November, so we try to compare them or line them up basically to any school days off.
Okay.
So around the holidays we have a lot of them. We have 10 this year.
Wow. Goodness gracious. And so registration opens September 1st, and when that happens, then you're going to start to see the dates posted on the zoo's website. But before that, the last week of September, you have monarch butterfly tagging. What is the zoo's role in the monarchs, and then why is this so important? Because you say it's a class, but you're doing real work during these classes.
Yes, absolutely. So it has formerly been called citizen science, what we do there. And so basically we ask the community members to get involved in really important conservation efforts. So monarch butterflies, people aren't aware that a few years ago they were listed officially as an endangered species.
Wow.
And so by doing these classes, we're talking about the migration, we're talking about the monarchs themselves, what we can do to help them, and then we teach everybody how to catch the butterflies. We give you all a net, and then we release you out into the prairie and see if you can catch any butterflies. And if we do, we actually put a little identification tag on their wing. It doesn't hurt them at all or affect their flight, but that identification tag will allow us to see where they travel to, because they're all heading to Mexico, but we got to see where they stop in between now
and see how many of them make it, how many of them come back.
Absolutely.
Amazing, amazing work. And so that's going to come up, and we'll put the dates here on the screen. It's that last week of September, first day of October. They are held at both actually I didn't put the dates up. There's a website. You can go and find them, and I'll put them on WIBW.com as well. But there's the website, topekazoo.org/education, and the information on all of this is there on the website, along with the fees for campers. It's $40 for members, $45 for non-members. Free to do the monarch tagging, but they do want you to register, and they're held at both the zoo and at the Kansas Museum of History. I imagine, Hunter, that just depends on what the task is on that particular day.
Yeah, it actually is just based on the dates.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we have, I believe the free public classes are, I think there are 3 of them at the Kansas Museum this year, and then 2 of them on grounds at the zoo.
Very good. So just, again, check topekazoo.org/education so you can see the particulars on that. And it is beautiful to see the monarchs passing through, and so we don't want that natural event to go away. Sophie,
Absolutely.
thank you for being here as well and for joining us with your little active paws and your active mouth. Hunter, appreciate you as well.
Thank you so much.
It is always fun to see those education animals up close and personal. So check the zoo's website, see how you can get involved. And while you're online, check our website, WIBW.com, for all of these segments, along with segments from all of the guests who make their way through our studios for Eye on Northeast Kansas. There's a whole section on WIBW.com. Eye on Northeast Kansas also has a section on our WIBW News app, or you can watch us on streaming TV, your Roku, Fire, Apple Plus, all there on the WIBW app. Also, head to Facebook, WIBW Melissa Bruner. I'd love to hear from you. You can see our studio selfies while you're there. Until next time, we'll see you on the Red Couch.